Welcome back to Good Day State Line. We've been talking mental health all week long, and tonight we have licensed mental health therapist Trey Tucker with us to help us all get a handle on anxiety. Hi, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. So before we get started with the anxiety tips, why did you want to become a therapist and work in this world?
I love helping people. I would say most therapists are probably a bit addicted to helping people. And I love listening more than talking and trying to figure out common patterns in people's stories. So this just seemed to be a good fit.
Yeah, I guess there's kind of like a mystery, like solving a puzzle element to it, huh?
It really is. And so many times, if it's our own story, we're so close to it, we can't really see some of those common patterns. But if we can take an objective look at somebody else's stories, we might be able to notice something they can't see themselves.
And then you get to solve it together, which is really the beauty of it all, right?
Exactly. I tell clients that they are the experts on their lives. I know a lot of stuff, but they're the experts on their own life. So it's kind of like two people walking side by side, trying to find their way out of the forest. I know how to get out of the forest, but I'm not going to be the one ordering you around. I'm going to guide you through so you can get out the next time.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so tonight we want to talk a little bit about anxiety specifically. So let's start with why anxiety increases. Like, why does it keep increasing?
So ever since the pandemic, there's been a 25% increase across the board in people dealing with anxiety. And so it really is exploding. And it was exploding before the pandemic as well. But I see three main reasons. One, too much information. At any given time, I can get on my phone and I can find out what's going on in the world anywhere. And that's just stressful. One brain can't handle that much information. We need to rest our brains and let the brains recover. Second is we don't move enough. So at the end of the day, we have all this stored up energy. And if we don't burn it off, it's just going to look for problems to solve and problems to be worried about. So if I can burn off that energy during the day, I can sleep a whole lot better at night and have a little more peace. And then third is the deepest root of it all is that so many times we are just chasing pleasure and happiness when we should be looking for things like significance and meaning. That pleasure and happiness only lasts a little bit at a time, so we're just continually chasing more and more, and it's never enough. But if I can know who I am and I can know something greater than myself that I'm contributing to, then I feel a whole lot better day to day.
Even just hearing those three things, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You know, especially, so I'm in my mid-30s. I feel like my whole life we were just raised to do more and achieve more and, you know, like be happy all the time. And then you have the internet everywhere and you're like, oh no, everyone else is happy, but I'm not happy all the time. And, you know, that's where people like you come in and say, well, everyone's not really happy all the time either.
Oh yeah, we are seeing their greatest hits that they're putting the perfect lighting and filters on Instagram, and that's all.
So what tips do you have with our viewers with, you know, how to deal with anxiety?
It's going to sound counterintuitive, but it really does work if you just treat anxiety like a friend. It's like a friend who's really trying to help, but it's trying to help in a way that may not be the most effective way. But think of anxiety like a smoke alarm. And that smoke alarm is very annoying. It is uncomfortable and we want it gone. But the alarm's not really the problem. The alarm is trying to tell us about something else that needs to be looked into the house. So anxiety, it's purposely making us uncomfortable so that it can get our attention so that we can check ourselves and see what are some needs that aren't getting met. Maybe are you not getting connection, real human to human, face to face connection? Maybe going back to that meaning and purpose, maybe there's not much of a sense of purpose and meaning in your life. Maybe some other conflicts, some relational conflicts, whatever it is, anxiety is really just trying to point us to basically check under the hood. So if we can lean into it, we'll start to feel better and resolve some of those root causes.
See, I feel like we could talk all day, which we don't have time for, but I do know that you are on social media all the time and giving a lot of help to your followers. Where can we follow you and, you know, how can we get more information?
So my name is Trey Tucker. You should be able to search Trey Tucker on there and find me. And then it's the name of the account itself is called Rugged Counseling.
All right. Well, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes. Coming up next, Todd from Rush Creek is in the house. We're making drinks for Spirit Day. Don't go anywhere.